Welcome back to the NASCAR Vernors Cup Series. It's a very exciting night tonight. All-Star night. We're under the lights. 28 of the top drivers around will compete for 50 laps to see who can take home $1 million. And all these are no slouches. 25 of the 28. The race winners from this season. 2 former All-Star race winners and an All-Star Open winner make up the rest of the row field. So let's go through our starting lineup. Pair of multiple 2-time race winners this season are on the front row, consisting of points leader Tom Hanks and pole sitter Denzel Washington, and Kansas winner George Lazenby to the outside of another 2-time winner in Woody Woodpecker. Morgan Freeman, he won at Michigan. Geddy Lee's won twice this year. Then the 400 winner, Daytona 400, Orange Crush 400 winner Snoop Dogg, alongside Northern 500 at Pocono winner Brendan Gaughan, and Kathy Bates, who's won multiple times. Lazenby was at Pikes Peak, my bad, because this guy, Walter White, won at Kansas. Then Carl Edwards, who's won at least one All-Star race in the last 10 years, I believe 2 actually. We'll start next to last week's winner, Telly Savalas. Then Bela Fleck, who won at Dover, is going to be alongside last year's All-Star winner, Peter Perfect. Donald Fagen's won a couple times this year. Tib Foster broke through. He won at Sebring. Then behind him will be Tom Jones. Tom Jones, he won the Stewart's Fountain Classic Rickyard 400 at Indianapolis. Pit strategy and the big breakout driver win-wise this year, Joe Biden. 19th in points and leads the series with 4 wins this season. Then, Texas World winner and defending series champion Richard Simmons. We'll start in row 10. To the inside of Watkins Glen winner Jeff Lynne. Harrison Ford, who won at Dover in a weird way earlier this year, he's second in points, looking to try and take home a championship. He can't do that today, though. I'll have to wait till next week. Alfred Hitchcock, who's had a pretty good year. He's won once. I believe that was Mosport. Then your All-Star Open winner, Dave Marcus. 24th fastest in All-Star qualifying. We'll start to the outside of Crow T. Robot, who won at Martinsville. Bob Ross, he's only won 1 race this season, but led the points for much of the season. Bob Ross, of course, got that win in the Dr. Pepper 600 at Charlotte. And then Mark Martin, who was outside, has won twice this year at Bristol and at Michigan. Not in that order, the other way. Rounding out the field is Sonoma winner Burt Reynolds and your David Pearson 500 winner Ian Anderson. 28 drivers enter, but only 1 can win. Should be a exciting race if the Open was anything to go by. Hut Strickland passed Dave Marcus, coming to a yellow with 5 to go. Got the restart with 1 to go, and Dave Marcus was able to get a bye on the outside to win the race. It's Marcus's first win per se since winning at Richmond in 1982, when Richmond was only a half mile, not the 3/4 mile we know today. But anyway, we gotta go trackside for the command to fire engines.
Drivers, start your engines!
Engines have fired. The 28 stock cars roar to life. And we're getting ready for what should be an exciting race. I believe they'll have to come down pit road once during this race, probably a little after halfway. We have an early yellow though. That could play a factor in the things. Depending on how early that yellow comes out and how good this fuel mileage is, we could see a two-stopper. Really interesting. Front row. No Dodges in the top 10 though. 4 Pontiacs in the top 10 starting slots. 4 Fords, 2 Chevys. And no Toyotas in the field. At all. Or Buicks or Renaults. Anyway, pace car down pit road. Green flag is out. And we're racing. For 50 laps and $1 million. Here in the Vernors All-Star Race. Denzel Washington trying to clear Tom Hanks off of 2. He's not quite clear of him. Hanks hanging tough on that outside, actually getting a run off the corner, and Tom Hanks is going to lead the first lap. Can he clear the 14? Yes, he does, as we're 3 wide already for the 3rd position. Denzel Washington taking a look back for the lead as Geddy Lee goes for 3rd. Oh, Bela Fleck with the move. Side by side at the line. Tom Hanks also leads the 2nd lap, only by 3 1/1000ths of a second. He's going to try and power off the corner this time by. Now Geddy Lee shuffling around. He's going to 2nd. Going to try to at least. Maybe not. Maybe you will. Brendan Gaughan right there. Going to try and take 3rd as they're 3 wide for the 5th spot. Hanks starting to pull away a little bit, showing the pace he's shown all year. He's leading the points despite missing the Dr. Pepper 600 only a week after his first win this year. He also won the season finale right here at Atlanta last year, which would have locked him in regardless. Now Brendan Gaughan going for 2nd. Finally got his first career win after first making a start in the series back in 2004. Was like his 69th career start or something. Dave Marcus shuffled to the back. Very interestingly. Gaughan is through to 2nd. Geddy Lee to 3rd. Denzel Washington has dropped back to 4th, and Morgan Freeman currently running in the top 5. Field starting to spread out a little bit, just a little. Currently the fastest lap by anybody is of that 3 car of Richard Simmons. Nearly cracking the 29-second barrier. But he's about mid-pack. Meanwhile at the front, it's single file for the first 6 or 7 cars. 8 maybe. Denzel Washington tried to take 3rd. Couldn't do it. Brendan Gaughan on the back bumper of Tom Hanks, but Eddie Lee's going to be the one who makes the move on Brendan Gaughan going into turn 1. Gaughan trying to hang tough on that outside. This is going to allow Tom Hanks to escape a little bit. Denzel Washington right there in 4th, deciding who to go with. Oh, we nearly got into Gaughan there. Tom Hanks has dominated this race so far. It's not quite what we saw in the earlier race. Maybe the grip has come in or something. Geddy Lee in 2nd now. Gaughan in 3rd. As George Lazenby will take 6th away from Woody Woodpecker. Here comes Denzel Washington to the inside of Gaughan. Field spread out over 3 seconds of separation. Now Geddy Lee powering through to the lead. Or will he? Tom Hanks once again trying to get a run off of 4. They were neck and neck at the line, but Geddy Lee actually led that time by. Can he make it stick? Is Morgan Freeman on the inside? Now Morgan Freeman going to try to make it 3 wide, coming off of the corner. Going down the backstretch. Freeman sends it in. And Geddy Lee is clear to the lead. Freeman going for 2nd. Will nab it at the line. Washington going to 3rd. There's a bunch of Pontiacs up here. As Morgan Freeman's teammate Snoop Dogg trying to crack the top 5 at the moment. Tom Hanks, who dominated the first 5th of this race, has fallen back to the 4th position. He's trying to take 3rd on the outside. Washington holds him off. Dodges are slowly working their way up in the year. Savalas, Peter Perfect, Bela, Fleck, Joe Biden up here in the top half of the field. Still an even split though. Wow, a few rookies filtering to the back. There goes Morgan Freeman underneath Geddy Lee for the lead. Going into 3 and 4. They are side by side off of 4. At the line, who will get credited with the lap led? It will be Geddy Lee. But Freeman powers to the front with help from Denzel Washington. Freeman, he's never won at a track smaller than 2 miles. Is this a first? We're seeing a first today. They're 3 wide for 5th. Woody Woodpecker just sent it in underneath George Lazenby and Snoop Dogg. What a turn of events. Bob Ross just... The wheels have fallen off the 66 in the late part of this year. Trying to go for 27th on Dib Foster. Meanwhile, a little bit of separation for the 2 Pontiacs. Morgan Freeman leads Denzel Washington. Tom Hanks trying to get to 3rd with help from Woody Woodpecker. Woody Woodpecker, who led points most of last year, didn't even make the All-Star race, as Joe Biden was... So he didn't win at all during the season, and Joe Biden was the Open winner. Uh, not Rick Mass. Dave Marcus kind of stuck back here. Brendan Gaughan's really faded since the start of this. A few laps ago, he was challenging in the top 5. It's Morgan Freeman, your current leader. They're over a third of the way through this race. Tire fall off definitely showing. Around this time there was it'd be the next lap, that there would have been an accident, relatively speaking. On lap 20, there was an accident in the open. Morgan Freeman has definitely extended his advantage to a big margin. Half a second over Denzel Washington, who's in danger of losing second. Tom Hanks, he's going to hold him off for a second. Geddy Lee in fourth, being pushed by Woody Woodpecker. Fords of George Lazenby and Kathy Bates also right up here. Top 7 a little bit separated from the rest of the field. Snoop Dogg now in the 8th. Almost a whole second behind the rest of this pack. Almost but not quite. Six, seven. Dodge did not really bring a good, the Dodge teams in this race did not bring a great package, it doesn't look like. Highest running is Telly Savalas, who runs in the 9th place. Now Geddy Lee going for 3rd on Tom Hanks. That's not gonna work. Closing in on halfway. Several drivers you can see have fallen off the pace a little bit. Dave Marcus, Donald Fagen, Tid Foster, all having rough races. Really a big margin there. Over a second separates 7th and 8th. Or did. Now some of these guys kind of slowing down a bit. Denzel Washington reeling in the 20 of Morgan Freeman. This team is closing down at the end of the year, but if Denzel Washington wins the million, he might just share it with his team. Washington's leaving, but maybe Jake Hoyt Enterprises can stick around as a part-time entry. No yellow. Oh! Ian Anderson. There's something wrong with him. He's just off the pace. Is he out of gas or something? This is before halfway. Now it's the halfway at the line. Morgan Freeman, your leader. It's a 3-car race between the 20, the 14, and the 31 at the moment. Geddy Lee and George Lazenby trying to reel these guys in. Ian Anderson, the first to hit pit road. But also going to probably be the last driver to finish. He did start last. But he had worked his way up a couple of spots. Nothing too major. It's Tom Hanks to 2nd. Geddy Lee on the back bumper of Denzel Washington for 4th. Ian Anderson just hopefully fixed whatever it was, because he didn't spend too long. Maybe he had a flat or something. over halfway. Morgan Freeman has dominated a good share of this race. Tom Hanks trying to get back to the front. Denzel Washington is looking to take second away, hopefully with help from Geddy Lee. Lee almost looked like he may be making it 3. Geddy Lee might be pitting. He is. Geddy Lee, the first really of the leaders to pit. Might be unscheduled, or he might just be going for the undercut. Ian Anderson running 2 laps off the pace. Mid-pack. These drivers look like they're going a bit slower. Morgan Freeman, he doesn't want to be undercut. Kathy Bates looks like she's gonna lead the lap over Telly Savalas. Most of the field pits, though. The only drivers who did not were Bates, Savalas, Simmons, White, Fleck, Reynolds, Ross, Jones, and Fagan. Anderson, he already pitted, so he'll stay out. Kathy Bates comes down. Everybody else who didn't come down is coming down. Now here's a good thing to watch. Here's Morgan Freeman coming off of pit road. Where is Geddy Lee? There he is. Geddy Lee firing around. Looks like Freeman at a gargantuan stop. But Geddy Lee should take the lead. It's going to be close. Oh! Lee using his momentum to get around, but a huge gap. Kathy Bates, there she is. They're likely to get past. Yeah, there goes Geddy Lee to the lead. Geddy Lee will cycle out as your leader. Is Ian Anderson probably going to be... No, Ian Anderson's actually on the tail end of the... He's actually on the lead lap. Only a half a lap behind. So Geddy Lee, your new leader, will be official at the line here. Morgan Freeman in second. It's a 2-man show. It's third place. A difference of over 4 seconds. Kathy Bates, Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, Richard Simmons, Snoop Dogg all up here. Then another big back. Oh, Ian Anderson actually fighting for position on Jeff Lynne. Perhaps it was the undercut that worked out. Geddy Lee just ran his fastest lap of the race. That's good enough for the 5th fastest, but 3 drivers have actually broken through the sub-29 gap. The 97, the 71, and the 9. Fortunately, they're not doing too hot. Coming now to turn 2 this time. Now Bob Ross joins that group. I was wondering if the draft would help at all, if the drivers behind would be able to catch up, since there'd be a bigger group than just these 2 cars, but they have stretched the gap now to 5 seconds. So the only thing that's gonna save the rest of the pack is if a caution comes out. Oh, and we nearly got one. Richard Simmons and Kathy Bates nearly got together. Anyways, it looks like the Richard Simmons Racing duo of Richard Simmons and Tom Hanks are all running really good. Not as good quite as the Virgil Tips. Snoop Dogg's up here, and Morgan Freeman is now taking the lead. He had went by on the inside there and leads with 15 to go now. Will be 14 to go at the line. Geddy Lee, has he ever won on a... Yeah, he did. He won, his first win was, I believe, at Chicagoland last year. This year he's won at a few different tracks. He won at New Hampshire last year. I know he's won at Talladega this year. Has he won anywhere else? I'm not quite sure. Little bit of a gaggle now. If these guys make contact and somebody spins, then I think one of them could go ahead and win this. Morgan Freeman trying to hold on, coming to 11 to go. Geddy Lee right on his back bumper. As they go through 1 and 2, Lee just trying to figure out when the best opportunity to pass is. Meanwhile, a big gaggle up here. Drivers checking up, speeding up. All sorts of ups. But they continue to fall behind. Maybe because they are fighting so heavily. Tom Hanks currently leads the second pack. There's Kathy Bates up here. Snoop Dogg, Richard Simmons, Telly Savalas, Crow, Alfred Hitchcock, Denzel Washington in the top 10 at the moment. I am definitely surprised, though, that these drivers aren't going slower than the ones behind them. I mean, they hit a higher mile per hour going into the corner. Maybe it's because they're side by side. Anyway, only 8 laps to go. Several drivers are far, far behind this pack. Geddy Lee, he got the lead. But in the long run, the overcut could be working. Freeman's got those slightly fresher tires. The last time by, Lee was the faster car. But we've seen what good that's doing as Freeman has pulled out several car lengths. 6 laps to go for Morgan Freeman. You just gotta hang on. Lead the second pack now 6 seconds behind the leader. And it looks like he's pulling away from Geddy Lee too with 5 to go. Geddy Lee lost another half tenth there. the real question is he laying back the charge? I don't think so. I think Lee's just used up his tires trying to hold off Morgan Freeman. 4 to go, and the 20 car is rocketing towards the checkered flag. Out of turn number 4. Morgan Freeman, less than 5 miles left. Geddy Lee clawing in a little bit. Maybe he was laying back. He's going to need to run 3 perfect laps if he wants to win this race, though. And it looks like Freeman knows that too. I think he pulled out the gap a little bit more. 2 to go. Yes, he did. Maybe Lee's a little bit better in 1 and 2. Coming down the back straightaway. One last time. Richard Simmons clear for 3rd. Freeman cruising to a victory. 1 lap to go. The white flag in the air. Pulled out even a little bit more. Oh, Geddy Lee getting really racy now. A huge rocket down the backstretch. He's going to try and dive it in the 3. It's not going to be enough. Freeman still a car length or 2 ahead. Will pull out and will win the All-Star race for $1 million. Coming down. Simmons holds off Kathy Bates for 3rd. And Tom Hanks got a really good run. That doesn't bode well for Harrison Ford. Oh, it was a bad corner or something for Morgan Freeman. Turn 1 or 2 that allowed Geddy Lee to draw close. There's your final results. You see some drivers really faded. Tim Foster dropped back to 26. That's a disappointment for him, I'm sure. Carl fell out of the top 20. Dave Marcus actually made up some spots. That is your results. Join us next week for the actual points race series finales. Season finales. Will we crown champions? We'll see you then. Hope you enjoyed today's race. For some reason, Brendan Gaughan didn't pit yet. Now he's pitting.